streaming. Welcome back, dear viewers, to season's broadcast of SRAs. Another season. So far, we're gonna, open the books to another fresh page and start a new story. That story begins, of course, with the first race of the calendar, Indianapolis.
Looks like he lines up a move. Oh, this is good tight racing right here.
Inside or outside, what's gonna happen?
That's turn 7 into the grass. Heavy booping the snoot on the barrier.
Oh, side by side.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, SRA Nation, and welcome back to another round of Division 3 racing. This time, we are here for some wet, sloppy chaos. My name is Trey Morgan, and I am joined by the wonderful Kyle Boys. Kyle, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Glad to be here. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready to watch some wet fun. We've had a lot of races, or we've had 3 races so far. We're on to week 4, almost at the halfway point. But this is going to be, I think, the hardest track for our drivers to stay on track for, just because it's a wet Monza. Now, Hungaroring could be worse, it could be better, but I'm expecting a lot of incidents here at this track, just due to how Monza is. And Kyle, I'll go ahead and let you talk through this track map here.
Okay, for Monza, we have a long straight down into turn 1 that is a chicane, the bane of most people's existence if they've ever been in an open lobby before. It is a right-left. It is a huge overtaking spot. It's very easy to mess that turn up. You have to get it exactly right. Then we move on to turns 4 and 5. It's pretty much wide open, flat out until you get there from the first chicane. And then it's a pretty hard braking zone into a left turn. Hopefully I don't get lost here. Then you have... I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry. You're the two... I don't know. No, I'm totally lost. See?
Yes. Do you want me to continue this?
No. I'm looking at the map.
All right.
Okay, so after the chicane, you have a big, long, swooping turn, if you will, that's completely flat out. Then you have a hard braking zone into another left-right. Then you go up into turn 6, which is for me, a pretty hard braking zone, but I see some people can manage to get away with it. Braking not as hard, but you will overshoot off of the track easily into the gravel in that spot and into turn 7 also. They're pretty much equal turns. You want to get right back on the gas and then be right back on the brake. Then that takes you down into turn 8, which is a very high speed chicane, if you will, which leads into the last straight before turn 11, which is a very long right-hand turn that's very slow compared to the rest of the track, which brings you back onto the straight back out towards turn 1.
Yeah, this track is a lot of fun. It's known as the Temple of Speed for a reason. There's a lot of fun corner names. This is actually the only track that I actually know all the corner names. So turns 1 and 2 and 5 and 6 are Variante Retifio and Variante del Roggio. Turn 3 is Curve La Grande. The top are the Lesmos, Lesmo 1 and 2. And then we have Ascari, which is turns 8, 9, and 10. And then Parabolica, turn 11, which I think is going to be the most important corner for our drivers here today, just because of how important it is to set up the overtaking zone into turn 1, like you talked about. But there's going to be a lot of chaos. That's going to be fun, though.
There's definitely going to be a lot of chaos. I usually like to say hopefully not this time, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, we can hope beyond hope, but I don't think that hope will mean anything right now, unfortunately. But we're going to go ahead and get into our driver standings. So P1 right now, Chandler James with 2 back-to-back wins in week 2 and week 3. Mark Kuzuba I believe he got a win in week 1 and then finished P3 for another race, but he's 20 points behind. Jeremy Yarin is 30 points behind in P3. Rafcab 60 points back in P4. Tyler Thompson all the way back in P5. And also you're noticing that there's not as many silver drivers up in the top 10 or so. Only Peter Jacob is currently P10, tied with Steven Music. And that's because we did our driver swaps this week. So any drivers who may have been super fast or maybe not as fast have gotten moved into their proper divisions. So Sam Stott, who was one of our he didn't finish on the podium last week, but he did finish P4. He has gotten bumped up to D2, so congratulations to him, or sorry to him, whichever you prefer. And we have a couple of D4 drivers who have gotten moved up from from D4 to D3. I believe that's Andy Honenberger. If you give me a second to pull that back up. Yeah, Andy Honenberger and Ben Roberts have both been moved up from D4 to D3. So a couple new names, and everyone has been shifted from gold to silver or silver to gold. But that's the last that this is going to happen. While we're going looking through these standings with Peter Jacobs being first in silver, is there anyone that you think is going to be doing really good here today, or maybe not as good today?
I haven't spectated these guys enough to know very well, especially with so few races in the season. But I'm going to be interested to see these guys that I have watched the whole time, like Andy Hohenberger and Ben Roberts, and see how they do with this rough of a track, their first race in D3. And then, of course, these guys like Andrew Donbonglio and Greg Marr, I think they're going to be... I'll be interested to see if Don Draper is up there with them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. A quick look at our team standings right now. Midgar Racing in first place with the Yarn brothers. Second place, only 8 points behind, though, is Sean Paul and Chandler James in Rum Runners Racing. Chandler is one of the drivers who I think is going to do really good here today. He's near the top. He's won the last 2 races, and he's near the top of the hot lap leaderboard, but he doesn't have a good hot stint. Or even have one, I don't know. I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see. And then P3 is MK Nasty with Aiden Springer and Mark Kazuba. And as pointed out by Sam Stott in the chat, Mark Kazuba is not here today. So this is a really good chance for Chandler James to get up to a very commanding lead now. Also, I apologize, Sam. I know you did finish on the podium after penalties, but in the race you did not. That's what I consider. But yes, you did get P3, not on penalties or on merit. I don't know. But anyway, you did get P3. Anyway, our drivers are getting ready to go out for qualifying. Actually, some of them have already gone out for qualifying. So let's go ahead and get a view on them. Let's see, who's first in our driver train? That is Peter Jacob. All right, so our leading silver driver after the shuffling is currently out there in our first on the track. So let's go ahead and see how he does. Going through right now a Scari, which it's not the most important corner, but I think it's probably the hardest corner in the wet. Would you agree with that?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's just due to the nature of how that corner works, with it being a fast left, right, left, and you have to get on the curbs if you want to be fast.
It's going to be interesting to see how much curb is allowed in the wet for these guys, really. A lot of these cars are already quite unsettled by curb usage, so trying to brake on the curbs in the rain should be interesting.
Yeah. And now in light rain, that's not as big of an issue. Like, I believe in terms of grip on the curbs, it goes obviously slicks on a slick track with no water at all. And then it goes wet tires on a slightly damp track. And then it goes slick tires on a greasy track. And then to wet tires on a wet track. As I believe that's Peter Jacobs' teammate there going off just ahead of him. I'm not entirely sure, though. I could entirely be wrong on that, but they do have similar looking cars. Yeah, right now we're going through this second Lesmo, and Peter Jacobs going very deep there. So he might have been first out on track, but he will not be the first to finish a lap, or at least get a lap time on the board. That will likely be Brad Garman now, here in the Lexus, in the Marlboro Lexus, I believe.
Plus, that was very convenient that that's exactly what I was talking about. I don't know how many times I've done that. It's very easy to do. You get very excited to get back on the gas after that long straight, and then, you know.
Yeah, the second Lesmo and, like I said, Ascari are probably going to be where we see the most drivers go off and lose a bunch of positions. If you go off turn 1, depending on how aggressive you are with getting back on the track and whatnot, you won't lose too many positions. It all just really depends on how you want to get back on track, whether or not you want to be fair to the drivers behind you or not, or in front of you. As Brad Garman comes across the line for provisional P1, first lap is a 58.1, immediately taken away by Koval with a 156.2. A couple other drivers coming in behind him now with Sarver, Lindo, and Kovac. And now Honenberger are one of our new silver drivers, going immediately to provisional P2. So Kyle, since you have more experience in D3, sorry, I just interrupted you. What were you saying?
Just everybody's improving on their first time, so.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. But back to the question I was trying to ask before I interrupted you, unfortunately. You've watched Andy more than I have since he's been in D4. How has he been doing in the races?
In D4, he was just cracked. I mean, that makes sense why he's here, right? I think in the last week's race, he was... Ben Roberts actually and somebody else were chasing him down, were attempting to chase him down the majority of the race, and not, I mean, he never really had any actual competition. And then in the previous race, he was ahead like 46 seconds over the whole pack, or some astronomical amount of time. So he's very fast. I think it was Ben Roberts that, like, he had an opportunity at one point, but it's one of those moments where you have some momentum, but once you have like a bad slide, or I don't remember if he had gotten into a contact with a blue flag or something, but then it was all over basically at that point. Yeah. He just had it. So
also, something funny that I would like to point out on Honenberger's livery, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to quickly see if I can get to it. If I go to the front of his car, he has a Honda logo on his McLaren. I saw that. I was like, surely that's not what that says, but no, that is exactly what that says. Oh, and he has cats on the back here. That's cool. But anyway, so
maybe it's been engine swapped.
It could be. You never know. Anyway, looking to some other drivers who have finished their laps. Darren Robichaux did get up to provisional P1 for a little bit, but that has since been taken away by a whole host of drivers, ending lastly with Sergio Lindo with a 155.3. And Sergio Lindo and Brad Garman, I think, are two drivers who are really going to do good here today, mostly because of their car selection. Obviously, the Lexus is the fastest car out there, as Chris Riepert goes to provisional P2. Lexus is the fastest in a straight line. But also, the Lexus, for whatever reason, is really good in the wet. I don't know exactly why, but when you're good in the wet and you're also super fast in a straight line, you're going to do really well here.
I remember not too long ago, 155.385 was like my best time in on a dry, perfect conditions. So,
yeah, we are long past those days, thankfully. I mean, while in the pip there, is that Peter Jacob and what's happening back here? So this is Peter Jacob and I believe that's Yaroslav Koval essentially battling it out here in qualifying, and that's not what you want to do. You know, you're not allowed to pass on the starts of laps or during laps as Peter Jacob goes up to provisional P11. So it's possible that Koval just was feeling a little bit left out or feeling a little bit backed into, unfortunately.
I thought he I thought it looked like he slowed down and let him by, like maybe he was not on a valid lap and he knew the guy coming in behind him was cooking. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm fairly positive he had a blue dot though.
Okay, so possibly just getting out of the way, as there's somebody that just went off. I don't know who that was. It's car 281, but I don't know who that is. Oh no, it's Dickhouse.
Yes.
I would like to point out, for the most, it'll probably be different by the time we get to the end of silver qualifying. But Darren Robichaux, he just jumped up into P2. I want to mention that with the fastest lap overall of a 55.1. Sergio Lindo has the fastest sector 1 time. And then our fastest sector 2 and 3 times are held by Steven Sarver and Chris Meck. So Meck and Sarver definitely have a really good chance to try and get up faster. It's all just going to depend on whether or not they can get a lap together. Chris Reaper is into the pits, so he will finish provisional P4 for the moment. He will likely get jumped by at least one other driver, mainly Brad Garman here, who's improving by about 0.3 of a second. That'll put him up into provisional P3, I believe, if he can cross the line. Provisional P3 with a 55.3, so very nice job there. Meanwhile, Sergio Lindo is improving by about a second or a tenth and a half. It's going to come across the line, take provisional P1 away from Darren Robichaux, but Robichaux going really fast through sector 2. It's all going to depend on this exit here onto the back straight out of Ascari.
Andy Hohenberger just went to second.
Very nice job there by Andy Hohenberger, who pulls off to the side, and now it's all really up to Robichaux. He's improving right now. It's just all going to depend on his exit from Parabolica. He's gaining time on the exit, but he lost almost a tenth of a second on the entry to the corner, so he's going to only jump up into provisional P2. So very nice job by Sergio Lindo to take away P1. Our next driver to come across the line
Koval's up almost a half a second.
Yeah.
And if so, he's going to be put right up there.
Yeah. I'll let you watch him there in the pit. Chris Meck comes across the line, does not improve, so stays provisional P10. The next driver across the line is Bruce Hopkins, looking to try and improve out of the last corner, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to, so we're going to go ahead and go back to Sasha Dickhouse, who is improving by a good bit here. It all just depends on... Oh, is that Peter Jacob there in the background?
He was up a lot, too.
Oh.
Yep.
So, yeah, it looks like he killed it on the exit of Ascari. I'm not going to replay that because I unfortunately think we're going to be seeing that a lot here today. Yeah, Sasha Dickhouse going to improve by about 0.4 of a second up to P7. Very nice job there. Koval coming across the line now, improving about 0.3 up to P5. Darren Robichaux is trying to improve on his last lap. I honestly don't know if he started this lap in time, but he's going to finish it out. It was really close. Steven Sarver came across the line, is going to finish in P9, and now Darren Robichaux is our last silver driver out on track. He is improving. It's all going to depend on the exit of Parabolica. He does a very nice job. He's going to improve by about a tenth. If he can hold it, that will be provisional P1 in silver.
He's increasing down the straight.
And he does. Very nice job there to take it away from Sergio Lindo. 0.02 of a second between Darren Robichaux and Sergio Lindo. So very nice job there. Sergio Lindo, I do think will probably get that position back on the straight just due to the fact that he's a Lexus. But yeah, very nice job there. And then just to go over the fastest sectors again, Sergio Lindo still fastest in Sector 1. Kovac fastest in Sector 2. And Chris Meck still the fastest in Sector 2, sorry. Yeah, Chris Meck is Sector 2, Kovac is Sector 3. And now, if I can figure out who it is that's first, I believe it's... No, it's not Thomas Greer. Who is it that's first in line here? It's R.D. Thompson. So we're going to go ahead and go on board here with R.D. Thompson for his first line lap, just so that we can get a good view of what's going on. So as we were talking about, long drive down here into turn 1, you want to brake it around the 150 board. You want to just slightly kiss these apexes here. Try and stay off that curving on the outside to make sure that you don't spin coming through that turn 2 exit. But he's doing good so far. Through curve Le Grande up to the second chicane. Braking again around the 150 board a little bit later. These curves you have to ride on a little bit harder. Very nice job through there. And now through the Lesmos. Probably the most annoying corner in the wet. In the dry, it's a lot of fun to do the Lesmos. In the wet, it is not. I don't know if you agree with me on that, Kyle, but that's how at least I feel.
I think there was a time when I absolutely hated those turns, and now I think they're very much just kind of meh for me either way.
Yeah. I really like them. When I was playing the F1 games with my brother, they were the only corners that I was consistently better than him at in the F1 games. But R.D. Thompson going through a sorry, a little bit of wiggle, but you can go ahead and...
Any reason I have for dislike for him is the second turn is just, as the race goes on and on, it's like I get less and less capable of making that turn. So, you know, it's my own shortcoming, but...
I definitely understand that, though. You know, R.D. Thompson going to come across the line here in just a moment to set our first gold lap with a provisional P3 of a 55.1. So very nice job there. Kasarabi, provisional P11. Thomas Greer, provisional P15. And Thomas Greer, I think, is another driver who might do decent here today. I know that the Bentley doesn't do good when you're trying to turn it, especially in low-speed corners, but it does do pretty well in straights. So I think it'll be decent as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. Chandler James up to provisional P1 with a 54.8, setting the fastest sector 2 out of anyone on his first lap. So very nice job there from Chandler James. And then who do we have there in the pit?
This is Jake.
All right. Sean Paul trying to match his teammates, about a 10th and a quarter off, but sitting provisional P2, so very nice job there. Jason Yarin got up to provisional P9. Raul Heron got up to provisional P13. Raul Heron, I think, will do pretty good. I don't know if his livery is working properly for me. I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay, Puma. Very nice. He was pretty good on the hot stint and leaderboard times, but I don't know how much of that is just the difference in conditions between the servers, because this our practice servers weren't standardized, so one practice session might be, you know, just a tiny bit wet, just a little drizzle, whereas the next one might be a whole lot of drizzle, or even, I believe there were some drivers who think they had at least a washed out course, which is basically where you can aquaplane anywhere, but I can't confirm that.
So was this race randomized too, or was it always going to be this condition?
It's randomized by just a little bit, so it's similar to our normal races. Technically, if I remember correctly, there's a chance that one of our divisions races in the dry. just due to the way that ACC randomness works. That's not likely, but it's happened just about every single time we've done dedicated wet races. I won't lie that I'm kind of hoping that D2 gets it tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyway, while we were watching Raul Heron take his lap, Chandler James went up to, again, provisional P1. He set a 154.4. John Ansom took away that P2 position from Sean Paul with a 154.9, only half a tenth faster than Sean Paul. And Raul Heron gets up there to provisional P3 as well, so we have a battle possibly for at least second place.
These the silver drivers are looking kind of fast.
Yeah, I do wonder how the qualifying conditions have changed over the race, because, you know, obviously the drivers driving on the track will start to dry it off a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be enough to cause issues for our drivers, whether that be overheating the tires or whatever might have happened. I do see that rain will be slowing down in 10 minutes, but with 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, that's not going to matter very much. Right now, our biggest improver on track is Jason Yaron, here sitting in P8 for the moment. Sam is hoping for a flooded track in D2. I am really not. I know you're in the Honda, so you'll be fine, but I really don't want that. Yeah, Jason Yaron going to come across the line, improved by about 2.5 seconds up to provisional P3. RD Thompson also jumped into this picture, provisional P2 with 154.6. Now, most of our drivers, I think, will have another lap, but I'm not quite sure. RD Thompson is the lead of this train. He will have at least one more lap, but I'm not sure how many drivers behind him will. So for most of our drivers, it's really going to depend all on if you can get around to do another lap. Like Chandler James, he's in provisional P1, but he's on an invalid lap right now, so he won't be able to improve unless he manages to get all the way back around in 1 minute to start a new lap. So we'll have to see where he goes. But as far as improvers go, Cesare Penkovic, here sitting in P9, is improving by a good bit. As long as he gets through Ascari cleanly, he should be good. And he does. He's improving by about half a second right now. It's all going to depend now on Parabolica. We're going to go on board through Parabolica just to see how well he does. Penkovic doing really well a couple of seasons ago, fighting for, I believe it was the D3 championship with, it might have been the D4 championship. I don't remember if it was D3 or 4, but he's doing good so far. He's improving by about half a second. He's going to come across the line to go up to provisional P2.
Whoa, man. That's a big jump.
Very big jump. And Chandler James really doesn't want to see that, as we are now done with qualifying. Does Chandler James get across? He does. So Chandler James having one more chance to defend his P1, and he's going to need it because Cesare Penkovic is up by half a second almost. Now he's going to lose it here in the exit of turn 2, but he's still going to do really good. I was asked how Robbie is doing. He is sitting here currently in P10. I believe... What is he? Oh, he's going through turn 5 right now. There was a yellow flag for somebody. I didn't see who that was, but that's just drivers coming across the line. Sean Paul. It was Yaron. Okay, Sean Paul getting up to original P2 with a 54.5. So
let's go, Sean
there.
Paul.
However, it's all to play for Cesare Penkovic, and if he gets close enough to... Who is that he's just in front of? Or just behind? That is... I'm not sure who that is. No. Whoever it is that's ahead of him, is if he's able to get close enough to him to get a slipstream either down this middle straight or down the front straight, he's going to do really well. He's losing time here on the exit of Ascari.
That's Greer. That's who I was watching.
Thomas Greer. Okay. Yeah. So R.D. Thompson also slightly improving coming through Parabolica, but not enough. He's going to stay in provisional P4. Cesar Penkovic now has to all get it back here through. Oh no! Cesar Penkovic trying to put it all on the line to get that P1, but not able to do it. Thomas Greer coming across the line, not improve, unfortunately. So that is your poll. Chandler James P1, Sean Paul P2, Cesar Penkovic P3, and R.D. Thompson P4. So it'll be really interesting to see how all of our drivers, you know, mess with that into the... Where's my cursor going? I can't scroll. I can't scroll across my thing. What's happening here?
Sounds like that's what happens to me all the time.
Is there something wrong with my... Give me a second. I will try and do this manually. I have to try and switch. I don't know what's happening here. My cursor is stuck on the right-hand side of my screen. That's weird. All right, give me a second to try and figure this out. Hopefully we will be able to get our... Okay, so that works. Okay, now it works. Okay, we're gonna get a quick word from our sponsors now that my OBS is working properly, so we'll be back in a minute.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
And for our last sponsor, Echoes of Nox. Explore an abandoned space station as you uncover the secrets of why you were left behind. Fight with 3 AI factions as reclaim the station. Wishlist Echoes of Nox on Steam today. So, we're gonna do a abbreviated race walk, unfortunately, because you know we had issues at the start. But Chandler James P1, Sean Paul P2. So teammates on the front line, but they're gonna have fun trying to defend from Cesar Penkovic and R.D. Thompson here. I don't believe they're in the same team, but they are both in Porsches, and so they have amazing getaway as compared to the Aston Martins in P1 and P2. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. And then we have Jason Yarin and John Ansem in P5 and 6. So row 3, another repeat with 2 488s. Anyway, I'm going to go quickly down the line. Raul Heron, P7. Sergio Lindo, P8. Darren Robichaux, P9. Those two are both our top silver drivers. Kasra Arabi, P10. Juicy Jake, P11. Andy Honenberger, P12. Brad Garman, P13. Jeremy Yarin, P14. Stephen Music, P15. Thomas Greer, P16. Yaroslav Koval, P17. Mike Farrow, P18. Chris Reaper, P19. Matt Mattisey, P20. Aaron Kovac, P21. Kyle, you need to hit F11 again.
F11?
Or not F11, F7. You need to hit it twice, otherwise you're latched to a car. Unless you're using the... Yeah. Back out of that and then re-enter it, because otherwise your camera is going to be skewed. Sorry, anyway. Continue with this. Aaron Kovac, P21. Sasha Dickaus, P22. Stephen Sarver, P23. Peter Jacob, P24. Chris Meck, P25. Is Asterisk, P26. Bruce Hopkins, P27. Cliff Hemian, P28. Rafcab, P29. Ronan Devaneni, P30. Paolo Reese, P31. Ian Demler, P32. Dario Ferrer, P23. Andrew Dwong Bungalow, P24. And Aiden Springer with a pit lane start in P25. All right, and then you'll want to hit Control F7 again so that you're not latched to the car.
I'm hitting it a lot of times. It's not unlatching me.
So you have to be in drive mode. You can't be like right now. You're in the menu. You have to hit.
Okay.
You have to hit Escape and Drive, and then you can hit it twice. Right. I don't know why it's not
hitting.
All right. I don't know why it's not working. Just go ahead and cover P10 for me from the helicam.
Okay.
And that'll work. Anywho.
Now what do I push to make it go back to normal?
Do you not have race control open? If you have race control open, just hit one of those buttons. If not, yeah, it'll fix it. Or just hit F2.
Okay.
There you go. Anywho. So Chandler James, our pole sitter, we're about to go green. We are going green. Sean Paul getting jumped on the start by Cesare Penkovic. There's a little bit of chaos there in the back. We're 3, almost 4 wide there for, I think that's P12. One of the Yarn brothers having to back out early. There's chaos at the back. Oh my word, there's so much chaos. That is a lot of chaos. I'm gonna quickly try and get a big view. Oh my word, that's a lot of chaos. Anywho, we will quickly replay that once we get back into the thick of things. But right now, Chandler James still P1, Sean Paul P2, Cesare Penkovic and R.D. Thompson still holding on to P3 and P4. R.D. Thompson looking up the inside into turn 1. Not going to do anything though, so we are all clear. I'm going to quickly try and find one of the drivers to go look at for this race start to see if I can figure out what happened.
It looked like there wasn't any incidents in the actual chicane.
Okay. I'm going to cover it from here just to see what we see. So we're coming down the main straight. We're 3 and 4 wide. We're 4 wide here at the back. Oh, and there's chaos up at the front. And that gets a whole bunch of cars collected. So absolute chaos here at the back. Unfortunately, I think I chose my replay to be a little too long, so we're gonna have to watch as these drivers try to recover and go straight. As there's some massive damage there for car 185. But no one has left the server, I don't believe. Brad Garman, there's a yellow flag for him. I'm not sure what that was for. I don't know if you happen to catch what the yellow flag was for there, but he's currently sitting in P8. Meanwhile, Ansem and Yarin both lost positions on that driver start. John Ansem losing, I believe, just 1 position, and Jason Yarin using 3 positions, maybe even 4. Possibly losing another one here to Darren Robichaux behind him. I think Robichaux may have gotten out of this slipstream a little too early. Kasarabi getting place out of Raul Heron, who goes deep there into turn 1. He's going to give the place back, or the place will be given back anyways, to Kasarabi, as Kasarabi goes wide. Manages to keep it straight, though. That's honestly very impressive. I don't know how that happened. It's a very nice job there by Arabi. Raul Heron getting a bump there, or not Raul Heron. John Ansom getting a bump there into the turn. Brad Garman unfortunately having some ping issues from what it looks like. Kyle, is there anything that I've missed so far?
Not so far. I'm scrolling back and forth quickly looking for anything, but there's a yellow flag there for it was too short.
That's for Thomas Greer, and I believe that's Jeremy Yarn here at the back. They seem to have gotten going straight now, so I'm not sure if that was a incident that was all the same or what, as Thomas Greer goes wide again there through the second Lesmo, and now that's Aiden Springer going up the inside of Jeremy Yarn here. I don't know if he's going to be close enough. He is close enough to force the issue. They're going side by side through Ascari. It's all about who's braver, and Aiden was braver. So very nice job there by Aiden to get that position from Jeremy Yarn. My apologies. Meanwhile, I believe, is that Sergio Lindo? Yes, Sergio Lindo losing a lot of places on the start. Unfortunately, probably do that at Chaos, but he's now trying to fight it with Jeremy Yarn, my apologies. Farrow got past Chris Meck here on the straight. I'm not sure if that was Chris Meck having an issue through that corner. There's another yellow flag for Chris Reaper here up front. Let's quickly see what happened here. Oh, so he's going a little bit slow, and he got hit from behind, unfortunately, with accordion effect. So thankfully he's able to get it going back straight, but yeah, he's lost a lot of positions due to that. There's also a yellow flag for Devaneni and Jason Yarin. I've actually got it right this time. Jason Yarin getting a yellow flag here. Oh no, I don't know who that was, but they absolutely lost it, probably by breaking on the grass and hitting Jason Yarin there, who's lost out a good number of positions now.
I have been that guy too.
Yeah, there were a couple of drivers in the fun races that did that on purpose that weren't a part of SRA. But yeah. Meanwhile, looking out front there, we've still been, I believe Chandler James is still in the lead. He's got about a second gap to his teammate behind him. I'll go ahead and bring that up. But yeah, so Sean Paul, Cesare Pinkovich, and R.D. Thompson currently trying to fight for that P2 position. Sean Paul taking the purple lap away briefly from his teammate before Pankovic gets it with a 154.58. So very nice job there by Pankovic. It's going to be interesting to see if he can capitalize on that speed. Meanwhile, a little bit toward the back, Rafcab got past two people in Thomas Greer and Matt Mattisey. Mattisey is, I'm not sure where he is. Is that him? I'm not sure where Matt Mattisey is. But anywho, we do have another pitter in, I believe this is Jason Yarn. Yeah, Jason Yarn coming into pit, probably to fix damage. And not the worst idea here at this track.
Man, every time this long line of cars comes up to the chicane after the straight, is like it's like a race start all over again. It's so scary to watch.
And meanwhile, there's a yellow flag for Brad Garman. No, I believe that was just ping issues. Okay, so Brad Garman is still going straight. He's trying to fight with John Ansom for that P7 position. Ansom holding up a train of about 6 cars. 5 plus... Let's see, 5 plus himself. As Brad Garman has another flicker. So, unfortunately for all the drivers trying to fight around him, that's going to be really hard to actually get around him, because you might not know exactly where he is. Back up from Artie Thompson has fallen a little bit behind Penkovic, but not by much. Penkovic now trying to fight it back. Brad Garman having more ping issues. I'm going to stop bringing that up now. Penkovic, though, getting really close here into turn 1. I'm shocked at how well he's doing into the straight line. So he must have, like, absolutely no wing. Meanwhile, Sean Paul goes deep into turn 1. That might give Penkovic a chance. No, not enough of a chance. As there's chaos into turn 1.
Yep.
That's Ansem. Brad Garman has gone off. Darren Robichaux is backwards in the middle of the corner, and I believe that was John Ansem who may have gotten hit or may have done the hitting into the corner. I'm not sure which. Yeah, lots of chaos there. Brad Garman losing about 10 spots there, unfortunately, due to that spin. Cliff Hemian was looking to the inside of that was, who was that? That might be Juicy Jake? No, I'm not.
That's
that might be a blue flag.
Be.
I think that's a blue flag driver, but I'm not sure. But anyway. Yeah, so we have a lot of, honestly, you know, I was expecting a lot more chaos at the start than we did. Obviously, there was the massive incident at the back, but there was no rear endings into turn 1 during the massive first lap melee, which I was a little shocked by. Well, into Ascari, Andrew Dwang-Bungley and Paulo Reese fighting it out.
Oh, side by side.
Yeah, side by side through Ascari, Andrew Dwang-Bungley letting up and possibly letting Mike Farrow through as well. Now, is he going to be able to fight it here into the corner? He's certainly going to try, but I don't think he has the run on him like he would normally. And now Farrow going side by side with Paulo Reese. And I believe there's someone pitting, but yeah, Brad Garman is now pitting.
Got Reaper making a move on Mech here in the across the line.
Yeah, so we got 2 Porsche on Porsche moves here. So Mike Farrow leading into the braking zone, brakes a little bit earlier. Side by side through turn 1. They get it all figured out. Chris Mech unfortunately went deep there. We just saw that. He did give the place back to Chris Reaper and now is under threat from Dario Ferrer, who backs out a little bit through Curve La Grande. I don't think there will be any issues in the braking zone here, but let's wait and see. Oh, there is. Chris Mech going deep. He's going to get back on the throttle. He's going to lose 1, maybe 2 positions there to Aiden Springer and Dario Ferrer. Possibly another one to Jeremy Yarn. No, he keeps that position for the moment. Yeah, lots of strings of cars here. Watching the train of cars to go through Ascari is absolutely mental. They're not quite within a second. But
every lap is like a pucker factor.
Yeah, Sergio Lindo now possibly looking to size up a move. Nope, a little bit too far back, but Chris Mech is looking to move on Aiden Springer here, possibly into turn 11. No, one of the Yarn brothers going. Oh. That was almost an amazing move. Unfortunately, that Jeremy Yarn went a little deep into the corner, but he will keep going straight. He lost, I think, a position. A little bit more out front. Dickhouse and is Asteroid fighting, with, I believe, Dickhouse taking the spot back. Dwang-Bungley also getting a pass on Paulo Reese into turn 1. Going a little deep, but it shouldn't be a massive issue as Paulo Reese clambers over the curbs there. Also, I just missed it, but Sean Paul and Cesare Penkovic just swapped positions, as Cesare Penkovic, I believe, is having tire wear issues. I think he probably went deep into turn 5 or turn 6, and is now having to defend very aggressively from R.D. Thompson behind him. Let's see if he tries to make a move here into Ascari. Yes, he does. He didn't want to, but he did make a move. He wasn't able to get it done, though. And now R.D. Thompson having to defend behind from Raul Heron behind. And of course, the Porsche not having the best straight line speed, but not enough to make an attempt. Who is having an attempt, though, is Chris Reaper on Paulo Reis down into Ascari. He's going to try and take the outside line. Is he going to be able to brake enough? Oh, Paulo Reis hip checking him. No, into the braking zone. Chris Reaper does keep it going straight, but he's going to lose a position to Dario Ferrer, Sergio Lindo, Aiden Springer, and probably Jeremy Yarin here as well. Yeah, we're going on board. Now side by side into turn 11. It's who's braver on the brakes. And it was not the Yarin, who almost clips Thomas Greer there, but decides better against it. Steven Sarver and Steven Music, teammates, if I remember correctly, going side by side into turn 1. Thought they might have shaken it out after the corner, but no, they're still side by side. Is there anything I'm missing out on here in the pip?
I'm just keeping track of this battle on Koval and Hohenberger. They are getting very feisty with each other here. So.
All right. So no movement between Sarver and Music there for the moment. But yeah, that battle between Koval and Juicy Jake there in the pit, very close together. Koval and Jake about 2/10 away from each other, and Koval about 4/10 away from Honenberger ahead. No moves into Ascari, though. Probably for the best. Meanwhile, out front, R.D. Thompson, side by side with Cesare Penkovic into turn 11. This is for the last podium position. R.D. Thompson getting the better exit.
They held it together pretty good there.
Yeah, they're doing very nice so far. It's all going to be a drag race now. Down the front straight, R.D. Thompson pulling ahead for the moment. Is he going to pull ahead enough to let Penkovic back into the slipstream, though? That's the big question. I don't think he will. So it's all going to be about who's braver on the brakes. R.D. Thompson. Cesare Penkovic doing a very nice job not to rear in Thompson into the braking zone. It looked like he was a little close for comfort, but thankfully did not. Meanwhile, Sasha Dickhouse getting a place from Bruce Hopkins on the exit of turn 11. Are we going to see an overtake here attempt? No. But there is an attempt here between Sergio Lindo and Paulo Reis. Sergio Lindo getting ahead before the braking zone. Meanwhile, R.D. Thompson went wide. I don't know what happened. I'm going to quickly see if I can replay this here. So side by side into turn 4. Okay, clambers over the curbs.
A little door bump in there.
Yeah, wheel bang in there. Through that corner. And then he loses the position to Raul Heron. So more work to do for R.D. Thompson. Cesare Penkovic still staying in that position, but maybe not for long. Raul Heron not doing anything into the braking zone for Ascari. Bruce Hopkins got past Sasha Dickhouse, and Honenberger and Koval are they were side by side for a little bit. Honenberger held his position, and now Juicy Jake going deep or wide or whatever you want to call it. So now it is a straight fight between Koval and Honenberger for at least a couple laps. I will say I'm a little surprised by how well the Porsches are doing in the straight line speed department here at this track. So I wonder if they're just all running min-wing.
Well, I don't know. if this is the case either, but I've heard from a couple of people that the Porsche is superior in the wet.
All right.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me. As we're looking for a possible overtake here into turn 1, no. Not going to try anything. Sergio Lindo got past Dario Ferrer after Dario Ferrer went wide there. Unfortunately, I think went deep into the corner. Meanwhile, Raul Heron just got knocked off, losing 2 positions, going deep into turn 1. And I believe that's him letting off the gas so that he could let Artie Thompson and Cesare Pinkovic back. And he also lost the position to Arabi. So I'm not sure if that part was intentional or not, but he's lost that position as well. Koval looking a little bit more brave now into the Lesmos. Honenberger giving him the space when he didn't need to. That's going to allow them to go side by side here through the second Lesmo. Very nice job from both of them. They're keeping it going side by side, but Honenberger's going to lose out on the position for the moment. Very clean racing side by side action though, so you love to see that. Now it's all going to depend on, can Honenberger get it back into turn 11 or turn 1 down the straights.
You definitely had some caution braking there.
Yeah, caution in the braking zone is never a bad thing.
No, you can just tell though, you know. They're like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure when the spot is, so I'm just going to go ahead and brake now.
Yeah. So, now Honenberger trying to defend from Juicy Jake here. I'm going to quickly jump ahead to Artie Thompson and Cesare Pinkovic, though, coming down into turn 1. Not quite able to get it side by side into turn 1, so they will fight it out for another corner. Or 7. Juicy Jake also trying to do something here into turn 1. Not able to get alongside though. Again, fighting for another turn. But Cliff Hemian and Mike Farrow though, they were able to get side by side and past each other, but Cliff Hemian in the slipstream now. He did unfortunately get into the grass, so I think that'll hose any overtake attempts this lap. And yes, so just to give an update on our positions, Chandler James still going strong up in P1, leading by about 6.5 seconds from his teammate Sean Paul, currently sitting P2. He's doing a very nice job here to, you know, just stay stable. He doesn't have to be as fast as his teammate. He just needs to not make any mistakes. As in the pip there, just to get an outside cam view, we're going to go side by side, possibly through Ascari. No. Artie Thompson not forcing the issue, trying to just put pressure on Pinkovic until he makes a mistake. But now he's going to have a good shot here down into turn 11. Unless he's lifting a little bit. I can't tell. Ooh. A little bit of rubber banding there. They're now going side by side into turn 11. Artie Thompson ahead after the braking. They get similar exits though, so it's going to be a drag race down to turn 1. And it looks like Artie Thompson's winning that battle, at least for the moment. My apologies to Commando for the frame drops. I think we're back to okay now. But Artie Thompson gets up into P3, so very nice job there. Andy Honenberger lost 2 positions there to Koval and Juicy Jake. He's now side by side with Juicy Jake into the braking zone. Oh, Honenberger, please. Okay. He spins, but he didn't cause any issues, so I'm okay with that. He's going to lose the position to Darren Robichaux, I believe, and well, he might lose the position to Robichaux. He definitely lost the position to Juicy Jake, though. Mike Farrell also got past Izasterek into the braking zone. And I believe that's Sasha Dickhouse. I don't know. Someone went very deep into turn 1. That might be a blue flag, though. Yeah, Honenberger now in a different fight. He had been fighting for that P7 position. Now he's trying to figure out if he can stay in the top 10. Thomas Greer has also gotten past Jeremy Yarn. Cliff Hemian just got past Isasteric there into, or I believe that was out of turn 5. Dario Ferrer getting past Paolo Reese. Now into the Lesmos. And we're still waiting. I believe that's still Juicy Jake there in the pit, or is that a different battle?
This is Asterisk.
All right, so that is the battle for P17 or P16. Yeah, we're almost halfway through this race. I'm a little shocked at how few pitters we have as Thomas Greer. Oh, that's a big off there. I'm going to replay this, see what happened to him into Ascari. It looks like he may have just gone deep into the corner, but we'll go ahead and play that here. It almost looks like his brake pedal was broken. Like he didn't brake at all. That was really weird. I don't know if you saw that in the main screen, but I don't know.
Somebody's brake pedal did break last week too, and it looked very similar to that. So that would be crazy if it was 2 weeks in a row, but that is what it looks like.
Well, he's going straight now, thankfully, and he managed to thread the needle perfectly between a couple drivers. But yeah, that's really weird. You know, back here for P24, Chris Reaper and Aiden Springer going almost side by side into turn 1. Chris Reaper trying to pop out at the last second, but not working properly. And so he'll have to fight it back another day. Yeah, and just to give you an update on the fastest lap, Jason Yarn currently has the fastest lap with a 153.8, and that was on his most recent lap. Now he has pitted, and he was also involved in an incident, so I don't know where this will all put him out in terms of, you know, where he'll cycle out in the pit stops. But I do think we're right around where we would expect to see most of our drivers do their pit stops. But yeah, so main battles right now are for P4 between Cesar Penkovic, Castarabi, and Raul Heron up here. They're all about a half second away from each other. For P7, Koval and Juicy Jake are still fighting with each other, and then Darren Robichaux fighting with Andy Honenberger, who's looking to make a move.
Is Asterisk. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now.
Oh my word. That's a fun view there that you have.
I thought so. That was crazy to watch too from that view.
Yeah.
Always in the pit.
Darren Robichaux and Andy Honenberger going side by side into turn 1. Darren Robichaux getting the position for the moment. He's looking to fight it back here into turn 1 though, or into turn 4. And it's looking like he's not going to be able to. So that is Darren Robichaux with the position. So very nice job there, but we are having our pitters. So Cliff Hemian, Dario Ferrer, and Iz Asterisk are into the pits right now. As Andy Honenberger goes a little bit wide. There's not very many close battles on track right now. I'm a little shocked by that.
No, I just am constantly looking for anyone within the same second, and this is the closest that I can see right now anyway.
Yes.
Ever since that pit.
Yeah, so it's still the battle in P9 between Robichaux and Honenberger. Juicy Jake currently fighting with Koval for P7. They're about 4/10 away from each other. Steven Sarver with a yellow flag moment. I'm going to quickly replay this and see what happened. Oh, and he just goes deep. So probably, you know, just wasn't thinking about where his braking zone was, and he goes off. There's also a yellow flag for Ian Demler, who looks like he had a massive issue. Oh, no. Absolutely ramrodded into that inside barrier there.
It's rough.
And unless I'm missing him, I believe he's quit the race, unfortunately, which is very understandable. Meanwhile, Andy Honenberger into the pits to try and undercut. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out for him. I don't know how much of a benefit you get from going from like half-hour used tires, wet tires, to brand new wet tires, because the wet tires can last a lot longer than the normal tires, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah, but, well, in wet conditions. Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah. Just to say,
but yes, yeah.
I don't know if you could. I don't know how. Trying to take wet tires out on a dry track would be interesting to see.
It only has to dry up an extremely marginal amount for it to make a big difference, you know?
Yeah, as soon as you get any kind of a dry line, you have to be very careful in how you take the corners. Now, today we won't be seeing a dry line form probably, unless something goes incredibly wrong, for what I'll call it. But we'll have to wait and see. We do have a half hour left in this race to go. And we have our leader coming into the pits, Chandler James into the pits. Let's see if his teammate does. No! Sean Paul wants to lead a lap or two. Very understandable. Meanwhile, Juicy Jake getting a good exit and entry. I don't think he'll be close enough to make an overtake attempt, but he might be here to turn one. He's definitely close enough for that slipstream. It's just all going to depend on if he's able to pull out soon enough, and I don't... Oh, my word. Very, very late on the brakes. Tried to force the issue, was not able to, but he keeps it going clean, so we're all okay. Very nice job there between Koval and Juicy J not to tap each other going into that braking zone. Meanwhile, Honenberger out of the pits, but unfortunately he's being held up a little bit by Paulo Reis. But he's getting around him, so Honenberger on his charge to try and get that position back from Darren Robichaux, who has not pit yet. But yeah. Jason Yarin's still going very fast there in the 488. His last lap was only 300ths away from his fastest overall lap, and we'll quickly see what his lap this time around was, because if he keeps going this fast, he's not gonna get into the top 5. I don't think there's enough time for that, but he can get back into the top 10. All right, so loses a little bit of time on that lap of 154.1, but still very fast overall. But we're going to come back to this battle with Juicy Jake and Yaroslav Koval. I believe that is a blue flagger who they were getting around. Juicy Jake getting a very good exit here out of turn 11, though. He's going to be side by side. He's going to get past him. So very nice job there by Juicy Jake to get around, and Yaroslav Koval immediately goes into the pits. As well as R.D. Thompson is also into the pits, so we'll have to see where he comes out. Meanwhile, where's Chandler? Chandler James has come out in P15. So he is still in the overall lead of this race. It's all going to depend on what Sean Paul does here, because Sean Paul is right now about as fast as he has been all race. His last lap was a 1:54.6 compared to a 1:54.3 for his fastest overall lap. Chandler James, his last lap obviously very slow with a 2:55, but that's because of the pits.
154s, it looks like, unless I'm blind, that Sean Paul and Yarn are the only ones that have hit 154s, and Yarn has the fastest lap of 154.187.
So at least in the second stint, yes. Most people are doing 155s. There are a bunch of best overall laps in the 154s, but not recently, other than Sean Paul and Yarn, the one Yarn. So we'll have to see. I'm interested to see what Chandler James's first lap here out on tires is. Yeah, right now, Arabi is currently in P3, but I will say he has not pit yet. So I assume he'll fall down to like P5 to P10 or so, unfortunately. So, not to get your hopes up, Sam. So my apologies. Yeah, but right now there is a battle on track between Steven Sarver and John Ansem. John Ansem, all right. Sean Paul now comes into the pits. So we'll have to see where he comes out in relation to his teammate.
Man, our battles have super broke up now.
Yeah. Not quite endurance racing levels of no battles, but it's kind of close. Steven Sarver not getting closer to Ansem here. So I believe what we're going to have to do is watch for Sean Paul to see where he comes out in relation to his teammate. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on here with Chandler James. He's coming through Ascari right now. Sean Paul is moving, but I don't know if he's moving enough. Chandler James now coming across the line, a 54.6. So Sean Paul's in-lap versus Chandler James's out-lap is roughly the same. Okay, Sean Paul did not get far enough ahead. So what was his stop time? Sean Paul.
I don't think he only drove one extra lap.
Okay. Well, no, it was 2 laps, I think. But yeah, so Sean Paul was stopped for an extra 4 seconds compared to Chandler James. So that's how he's lost the position to Raul Heron and R.D. Thompson, I think. Yeah, R.D. Thompson and Raul Heron are ahead of Sean Paul now. So it's all a matter of, can Sean Paul fight it back? He was faster than R.D. Thompson and Raul Heron at least when they were fighting each other. But now it's going to be a battle to see if he can get back past them.
He can do it.
I'm sure he can.
He's our man.
If he can't do it, no one can.
Reese had a yellow flag moment.
Ooh. So he looks like he's going fine, but I'll quickly replay this.
both hit
Oh,
it.
no, he was not going
He
fine.
had wall contact also.
Yeah, he also hit that inside wall, unfortunately. Thankfully, he's still going straight, but that is a lot of damage there on the front end of his car. There's also a drive-through penalty for Farrow. No. Oof.
Lindo has... Oh, he's going in the pits.
All right, Sergio Lindo into the pits. Darren Robichaux also into the pits, so I'll be interested to see where he comes out in relation to Honenberger. As they were battling before the pit stops, and they were about 2 laps different in pits, in pit laps. As someone just went very deep into the gravel. That was Mike Farrow. Okay, so I don't know if you were able to hear that on stream, but he definitely went deep there, unfortunately. There's also a yellow flag for Bruce Hopkins. I'm going to replay this here in the main screen. Okay, so trying to spin through turn 5. Not the best option, I will say. All right, so Darren Robichaux is out of the pits. He's right behind Yaroslav Koval, so he's done an amazing job to try and catch up to the drivers ahead of him, and he's managed to gap Andy Honenberger by about 5 seconds. So very nice job there by Robichaux on his out and in lap. Now he's fighting, I believe, for P8 provisionally, but I could be wrong in that. Let's see, there's another battle back here between Chris Mack and Paulo Reese, and right as I look at them, he goes off it, of course. But yeah, so it's just Darren Robichaux, and there's also a battle between Stephen Music, Sasha Dickhaus, and Sergio Lindo here for P17. Steven Sarver now into the pits, so I believe How many pitters do we need? 1, 2, 3. We still have 5 drivers who need to pit. As Chandler James sets the fastest overall lap of a 153.6, which is insane.
That is insane.
Like, I hate to say it, but that's faster than I've been going. I know I've not done as much practice as I need to, but that's an insane time. Hats off to you, my man. Now, it does look like it's slightly lighter rain than we had at the beginning, but I could be wrong on that. And it will get heavier here just by a little bit here in about 10 minutes. Here into P1, or into turn 1, my apologies. Darren Robichaux not able to get past Koval. Still fighting for that I believe 8 position after pit stops are done with. Maybe, I believe it's P8 anyways. We'll have to see once everything gets shaken out. But yeah. Cesare Penkovic now into the pits for our, well, he was in the lead. I believe he'll fall down to about P4. He had been fighting for the last step on the podium. We'll have to see where he comes out. You know, we got 2 battles going on now. In the pip, we have the battle for P16, and in the main screen, we have the battle for P13 or for P14. Jason Yarin really close to the back of Steven Sarver. Is he going to attempt anything here into turn 8? It looks like he will. Late on the brakes. Very nice job there to hold the position. And very nice job there from Steven Sarver to just kind of not let him through, but not cause any issues on brakes. As Yarin goes wide, I don't know if that would be a track cut or not, but it looked very close. You know, Cesare...
Gotta use those speed tokens somehow.
Exactly. Cesare Penkovic now out of the pits. He's behind R.D. Thompson, but he is ahead of Raul Heron, and that is the crucial bit. So, Penkovic now on the provisional podium. Just gonna try and fight it against R.D. Thompson to see if he can get up to that P2 position. Yeah, Darren Robichaux still right behind Yaroslav Koval, but not able to do anything. And then is that still Sasha Dickhouse in the pits, or in the pip? Yes, it is. Yeah, not able to do anything there into turn 1 or 2, but still really close behind. I'm interested to see when Ansem and Hopkins both pit. They are teammates, and if I look at the statistics, they'll lose about a minute 30 whenever they stop. So they'll fall down, or like at least a minute, probably a little bit more. So maybe around a P15, I think. But we are well past the point of what I'll call beneficial gains from pitting.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, technically, if you wanted to just go even split, you pit at 30, and then you're fine for the whole race. If you want to get into strategy, or you're really good at tire wear, then you can pit at 40 minutes, or sometimes even 45 minutes. But you want to pit early, because the undercut is almost always going to be better than the overcut here. Meanwhile, Sasha Dickhouse really close to the back here of Steven Music. He's going to attempt something into the turn. No, he's not. All right. He almost went deep there. So that might let Sergio Lindo in on it. No, Sergio Lindo went wide on the exit. Meanwhile, Jason Yarin has gotten past Andrew Duong-Bunglio. I'm going to quickly replay that here in the pit. Oh, my word. Duong-Bunglio decided he wanted to be a rabbit. That's what happened there. Went hip-hopping over the curb. Meanwhile, out front, Raul Heron right behind Cesare Penkovic into the Lesmos. And this is the battle for that final podium position. I kind of expected Cezary Penkovic to pull away, but it might just be that Penkovic doesn't have his tires up to snuff yet. Yeah, Penkovic is a little bit slower once you get to the end of straights, but he's faster at the beginning of straights, so it doesn't matter quite as much. So no big worries there for the moment, but I'll keep an eye on that. Robichaux and Koval still about 8/10 away from each other. Arabi and Juicy Jake still about 8/10 away from each other. And then Dickhouse, Lindo, and Steven Music all about 4/10 away from each other. So we'll go ahead and watch this battle here in the main screen. But if something happens there in the pit, please feel free to yell at me.
I think there was just a position swap there.
I believe that was there was a blue flag ahead of them.
Oh, that's who it is.
So that could be it. But it's looking like there's going to be a pass here. Or at least very close. Yeah, so Paulo Reis very close to the back of Raul Heron, I believe. Yes. I'm still shocked at how terrible that front end looks from Paulo Reis, unfortunately, with that front end damage. It looks absolutely insane.
It does.
I was gonna say, I've seen McLarens like that. As Jason Yarn gets past John Ansom into the pit lane, or in the pits. I thought that might have been an on-track pass, but no, it was just pit lane shenanigans. So, unfortunately, a waste of a replay. But that's okay.
Looks like we're getting a gap, a little bit of a gap here now.
Yeah, Penkovic trying to pull away. He's got a lot of time if he wants to get back up. Juicy Jake trying to make a move on a Robbie here. Not able to do anything there. There was also a pass between Sergio Lindo and Sasha Dickhouse, and then I believe that was between Chris Reaper and Andrew Duong Bunglio. Unfortunately, I missed it because I'm expecting big things for Juicy Jake. Unfortunately, he's fallen back.
Hopkins is in the pits.
All right. So I believe that is the last of our pitters. So once he comes out, we will go ahead and do our biggest movers. We are 3/4 of the way through this race. Probably about 8 laps to go. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, right now 2 big battles. Raul Heron into the pit, or into turn 1, not able to make any inroads, unfortunately, on Cezary Penkovic. Juicy Jake also trying to make inroads on Arabi into turn 1, but not able to do so. And then Steven Sarver on John Ansom, also trying to make inroads here into turn 1, but also not happening. It's the one unfortunate bit about this track. We don't have the same issue that F1 did with the DRS trains, but it definitely feels the same, where you have to, essentially the guy in front of you has to make a mistake, or you have to be a Nissan on a Porsche, or a Lexus on a Porsche, because there's almost no good way of forcing an overtake at this track. Meanwhile, Sergio Lindo, side by side with Steven Music through Curve La Grande, they're going to be side by side into the second chicane, and Sergio Lindo, I think, is going to have the pass done here before the braking zone. Steven Music forcing the issue. Oh no! Music, no! So Lindo will lose a position to Sasha Dickhouse. That is not a driver. Yeah, so he'll lose 2 positions there, and unfortunately, I do think that's on Music. I'm not a steward, so I'll let someone else decide that, though. You know, I'll back out in P6. Juicy Jake looking for a move into turn 11. Not able to do anything. Oh, please don't spin. All right, he didn't spin. But they do have a blue flag ahead of them now. Steven Music I believe just gave the position back to Sergio Lindo. So good on Steven Music. That does put Sasha Dickhaus ahead of both of them. And Steven Sarver and John Ansem go side by side into turn 11. Sarver, I believe, was ahead of Ansem after the pit stop cycle, so. All right, so there's that. Yeah, all right, so there's that.
James had about he has almost a 10-second lead, but it looks like in several points Thompson is kind of starting to chip away, so.
Yeah, that'll be a thing to look out for. I don't know if he can get 8 seconds back in a whole bunch of laps, but we'll have to see. He is bringing that gap down a lot more than I would expect. As I believe there was a little bit, maybe of a bump there between Jaroslav Koval and Juicy Jake as they're trying to pass a blue flagger. Will Paulo Reese let them both by here before the braking zone? I don't know if he'll let him by, but they will get by. Please, no! Koval not able to make a clean pass on the blue flagger. Unfortunately, brakes late and hits Juicy Jake, so he's going to lose a position to Robichaux, Honenberger, Yarin, and possibly Sarver. We'll have to see here on the pit straight, or on the back straight. I don't think it'll be enough, but we'll have to see. Yeah, no, he's fine for right now. But yeah, Koval unfortunately going way deep on the brakes. Meanwhile, Robichaux and Juicy Jake, they were side by side through turn 11. Robichaux now falling into the slipstream. Oh, you're already on board there. Side by side now. Could you imagine that camera in like an actual race? That'd be so cool. Juicy Jake goes deep. Is he going to give the position back?
Hopefully he gives that position away, but...
No, he didn't. He does not. So, Stewart away. That's unfortunately what that will be. Yeah, so Juicy Jake not losing the position yet to Darren Robichaux, but if it keeps going like that, I think he probably will on pace. Just on pure pace, not having to go to the stewards about it.
Whoa.
Who's that?
Okay.
I didn't see what
Juicy
happened.
Jake became a bunny and hopped the next chicane in the similar fashion as he did the first.
All right, we're gonna go on the main. Oh, wow, that is very bumpy. Yeah, I understand why Juicy Jake's trying to fight it out to keep that position, but I do think that at some point he will have to give the position back, because he's gained essentially a full second on Juicy Jake by cutting those two chicanes. See, looking out front, Cesar Penkovic has pulled out a gap to Raul Heron, but Sean Paul was about 0.6 of a lap faster than Raul Heron was. 0.6 of a second a lap faster on the last lap. So we'll have to see if they're able to keep that same gap. There is still a battle here going on, probably for that top 3 or that final position. Steven Sarver going a little bit deep, unfortunately, into turn 11, and so we'll have to wait a little bit more to try and fight with Jaroslav Koval. But I'm going to go up here with Sean Paul, because I think Sean has a really good chance here to overtake Raul Heron. Their last laps, he was 0.7 of a second faster, 155 compared to a 154.3. It's not showing that it's changing very much here on the... Oh, no, it is. Raul Heron going deep. I believe he may have bunny hopped that curb, so Sean Paul's going to get through. Nope, they're side by side through Lesmo 1. But he's going to get a better exit via not being on the curb. So as long as he keeps it straight here coming through the second... Oh, my word. We're going to be side by side into Ascari after Sean Paul going a little bit wide. Yeah, so Sean Paul giving the inside to Raul Heron into Ascari. A little bit of wheel bang in there, but nothing too bad. So Sean Paul gives the position right back to Raul Heron. But they are within a second now. So they have, I think, about 4 laps to fight it out. Meanwhile, that gap out front, Chandler James is down to 5 seconds back between him and R.D. Thompson.
Oh, maybe that's server.
Yeah, that was a server issue there.
Okay.
Those yellow flags. But yeah, looking at their last laps, Chandler James, a 156.3. That was invalid, mind you. Whereas R.D. Thompson was a 154.3. Now, I highly doubt that there will be a 3 or a 2 second delta between them on the next 3 laps. But if there is, then we really have a chance here for this battle for the lead. So yeah, Chandler James quite possibly feeling the pressure. Maybe his tires are a little overheated. I'm not sure. But he is putting on some self-imposed pressure here. Yeah, Sean Paul into the braking zone of turn 4. Not able to do anything, but still right behind him. He's going to get a slightly better exit through the second chicane into the Lesmos. Oh, Andy Honenberger, he went wide. That's going to allow them to go side by side through Lesmo 2. Sean Paul not able to use that to his advantage, though. He will, however, be right behind him coming into Ascari. Not attempting any move into Ascari. But he's close enough that as long as he doesn't make any issues here on this exit, and he doesn't, he's probably going to be able to make the pass even before they get to the braking zone of turn 11. I really don't like the TV cameras here at this track. I don't know. I don't either. Is that why you've been on board this whole time?
Yeah, back and forth between onboard and Helicam. The other ones just don't do it.
Yeah, makes sense. Sean Paul not able to get the best exit out of turn 11. Parabolica. There's a yellow flag for Sasha Dickhouse, who I believe, unfortunately, speared it into the wall after the second Lesmo. You know, Sean Paul again here going to be fighting it into turn 1. Not close enough to make a move yet. So biding his time, but he is right there trying to get that P4. Yeah, and I know we have a couple of Arabi fans here. Arabi currently sitting P6. I will quickly go over the biggest movers since I said I would do that and then forgot to. So right now our biggest mover, Aiden Springer, has done a very nice job to get up 11 positions starting from the pit lane. Dario Ferrer up 10 positions to get to P23. Andrew Dwang-Bungaleo up 15 positions to get to P19. Bruce Hopkins up 13 positions. Steven Sarver up 11 positions. So very nice job there from a lot of our drivers. And to point out, Arabi up 4 positions. And then somebody else, Chris Reaper, is up 1 position after a massive wreck. And I believe he was involved in that starting wreck there in lap 1. So very nice job there to, you know, get back to where he should be. As there's a yellow flag for Chris Mack, who lost it on the exit of Ascari. No. Oh, I feel for him. Yeah, looking up front, Raul Heron has a drive-through penalty. Oh no, Heron.
That's rough.
He was doing so well. Probably gonna finish at worst P5. Oh, someone else dying. Was that Aiden Springer?
These guys were in a hard battle for a while, but once Madison got by him.
Oh, it looks like he just went wide through Curve La Grande.
Caught a little grass there.
Yeah, that'll happen occasionally. And of course, that was right after I was pointing out how good he's been doing. So, you know, there's that. And Raul Heron is going to be letting Sean Paul by. I'm not entirely sure why. I think he should have just done his drive-through penalty on the last lap, but either way, that puts Sean Paul up into P4. Not quite the starting position that he had. He lost 2 to 4 positions in the pit stop cycle, unfortunately, but he's still doing a very nice job there to finish so high up. Meanwhile, Juicy Jake still fighting with Arabi for P6, which will eventually become provisional P5 once Raul Heron has to take his last his drive-through penalty. Also, here in the back, Honenberger and Yaron, Jason Yaron going side by side. Yaron getting past him on the exit of the Lesmos after I believe Honenberger went a little bit wide. And so this battle for provisional P8 has now become a 3-way battle. Oh, sorry, 4-way battle between Yaron, Honenberger, Koval, and Sarver. As Yaron goes way wide there. A little bit of a wiggle. I don't think Honenberger will be able to make a move into this corner, but he's looking to the inside anyways, defending as Raul Heron. I don't know what happened to Raul Heron. Where is he? Oh, he's just in the pits. Okay. Nothing bad there, but yeah. So Honenberger having to defend from Yaroslav Koval. However, Koval looks like he's going to try and make the pass into turn 1 instead of turn 11. And we're getting the wing view of that Yaron brother there out front watching this battle. Honenberger squeezing Koval to the inside. Oh, massive bunny hops. And unfortunately, that'll be the position lost, I believe, for Honenberger. Sarver now back into this fight, possibly for P10. Okay, so Raul Heron comes out of the pits, P15. And he has the potential to possibly get another spot back from Sergio Lindo, but he has to do it this lap as we are on our final lap.
Crazy that Sean Paul actually is chipping away that lead real strong, but there just won't be enough time left in the race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Chandler James had a few bad laps. 3 seconds, jeez. That's insane. He's still cutting
I'm sure
time.
there's a little of him gaining and
yeah, I'd find it kind of funny if it was due to fuel issues from Penkovic, but out front, Chandler James gets the hat trick, 3 wins in a row. So congrats there to Chandler James. R.D. Thompson coming across the line in P2, very nice job there. Cesare Penkovic will come across the line in P3. As there's a little bit of chaos going on right now in the server. Okay, Penkovic finishes P3. I really don't know who's finishing where. Sean Paul P4, Robbie P5. My thing is broken right now. So Robbie P5. What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Of course, the server spazzes out right at the very end. But yeah, so Arabi P5, Juicy Jake P6, Robichaux P7, Jeremy Yarn P8, Koval P9, Honenberger P10, and Sarver P11. So very nice job there. We will go ahead and watch this last battle here between Chris Reaper and Jeremy Yarn. I don't think he's going to be close enough to actually fight this back, unfortunately, but he will come across the line in P18. Yeah, so finishes just behind his teammate, or no, sorry, that was not his teammate. Just behind the other Yarn brother, Jeremy Yarn. But yeah, so this is honestly, other than the start, this was a lot less crazy of a race than I expected it to be. I don't know if you feel the same way. Okay.
Yep, completely so. There was very few incidents really, and even fewer that had anything to do with people touching each other.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was
good.
There was the one fun battle where the drivers were, or I believe it was Thomas Greer, just didn't know how to brake or something happened to him. I still don't exactly know what happened there, but either way, I'm going to quickly save this replay But yeah, so fun battle all around. Chandler James, your winner. I will quickly get a screenshot so that we can do that, get our interviews in. But any final thoughts on that race before we try to pull in our race winner or our interviewees?
It was still fun to watch. It was a lot less eventful than I thought it was going to be, which overall is good for our drivers. So that means it's good for us, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I will. Let's see. So Sean Paul finished P4. Am I remembering that right?
Yes.
Okay. So the race still isn't over, so I need to actually go look at the replay to see the final results. So give me a small second. Okay. Toggle HUD. There we go. So we need to interview Chandler James, Artie Thompson, Cesare Penkovic, and Darren Robichaux. We will see if we can get Robichaux in here first. I see him there, so we're going to go ahead and pull him up. If I can work it properly. Darren, welcome to the booth. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. I hope he's not ditching us. Oh, there we go. Now we can hear him.
I just jumped out for a glass of water. What's going on, boys?
Not much. Congratulations on your silver win overall, and I believe it was P7 overall in the race. Go ahead and talk us through your race.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun, boys. That was real fun. Lots of prep work. I don't know if you've seen any of the stats in SRA, but I've done a jillion laps here at Monza. I practiced. I've learned all my cars here. I've learned everything I needed to learn about sim racing. I learned at Monza. So it was one of those things like I've had strengths here, but tonight just went together. Had a good quality. The car worked good. Everybody around me was safe. That was just good racing. It was a great night.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, I know that you had some fun battles with a couple drivers. You were battling with Honenberger, I believe, for part of that race. Maybe some other drivers. But
there was lots of great battles, lots of respect. I chased Cavall for I don't know how many laps, probably the whole after the pit stop. Chase. It was lots of battles. And again, I can't remember the names until I see them back on the relative.
That's very fair. Yeah. And then I noticed that not only you, but a lot of drivers didn't pit until after the halfway mark. Was that intentional that you wanted to go super long, or was that just how you felt the race was going?
I managed to stay pretty good in traffic, so I was managing tires pretty good. So I figured if I could try an overcut, maybe, right? And with my relatives, I could see that when I come out of the pits that I was going to be in clean air. So I said, all right, if I go in now, I'm coming out in traffic. So I waited the 2 laps, and then I pitted in, and it seemed to help. Now I think I might have picked up one in the undercut, but or the overcut, but I can't remember for sure. Again, I don't remember the names I'm seeing in the relative. It's too exciting.
Yeah, I know that you went from about P9 or so to P7, but part of that was due to a driver or a drive-through ahead of you. So I think you did catch someone in the overcut. I just don't remember who it was, like you were saying.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I have to go back and watch the replay. But yeah, and I think there was some chaos in turn 1. I think that gave us another position after the pit stop.
Yeah, there was a little bit of chaos. More chaos at the start. There was a wreck before, I believe it was before the end of the pit lane, unfortunately. So I bet you'll have fun reviewing that in your race review.
Yeah, no, because I managed to stay up front. All the chaos kind of happened behind us going into turn 1, but I could just hear the boys behind me because I got the guys in my Discord. We're all chatting, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was just like, oh no, Matt. It's like, oh, I got a meatball. So he's just like chaos behind. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I wasn't part of it.
Very understandable. Kyle, do you have any questions for our silver winner?
I don't think so. I mean, I had a couple, but I think you pretty much answered them all just kind of by talking. So
I'll let you lead the next interview then. But anyhow, I'll go ahead and give you our last question. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Shout out? for tomorrow night, Mason Moffat, Pat Cockcroft, but we'll just go for tonight. Shout out Paulo Reese, shout out Steven Sarver, shout out Matt Mattisey, shout out Sasha Dickhouse. These are the boys that are in my server. These are the guys I practice with day in and day out. Trade secrets, trade setups. You know, it's a fantastic community, and the boys are all hanging out in my Discord, so it makes it easy for me. I just pop in and, hey, they're there. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, we will go ahead and send you back down to your race review. But again, congratulations, and we hope to see you up again here in the future.
Thank you very much, Trey. Thank you very much, Kyle. Boys, thank you very much for being in the booth. The streams are phenomenal, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it. So I'll send you back down, but have a good night.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
All right, so that was our silver winner. I don't see our P3 finisher. I believe he has to go essentially straight to bed as soon as he's done, because if I remember correctly, Penkovic is racing from Poland. I know that he is Polish. I just don't remember where he's racing from. So, yeah, a little bit of a time difference. If I remember correctly, it's like 8 o'clock at 3 o'clock here in Eastern time. So, you know, it's a lot of fun. But we will go and pull up R.D. Thompson. And remember, Kyle, you're leading this one.
Okay.
RD, welcome to the booth.
Hey.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, what a race. Holy crap. I can't believe it ended up the way it did. And yeah, it's pretty exciting to turn out, second place. I really didn't expect that. And yeah, congrats to oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. Chandler, good grief. And I think Penkovic was third, I think.
Yeah, Penkovic was third.
Nice. Yeah, we had some epic battles going on between me and him, and yeah, that was absolutely insane, side by side with him, and he's quick. He's absolutely quick, and it just kind of, I think, I'm not entirely sure what happened for him, but I think I just got a drive on him, and I was able to get around him finally, and was absolutely awesome to race with him. And other than that, it's just it kind of I don't know, maybe just kept walking a little bit away with him and or from him, and yeah, I ended up further ahead than I ever thought was even possible, especially in the rain at Monza. And happy to be back on the podium. This is my second podium here, and yeah, excited to keep it rolling.
Yeah, man. Was there any expectations you had going into the race that were either found to be true or that were completely opposite to what you thought might take place?
Honestly, survive. I didn't want to die. Obviously, and any of this is really easy to do, especially in the wet, as we saw in the replay. If you're watching replay, just in the start finish, just on lap one, it was unfortunate. Easy to wipe out, and almost got taken out. I think it was lap 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere in there on turn 1. Narrowly missed being killed into there, and I'm not sure who that was, but it was a bit scary to watch that. But yeah, other than that, it's just hopefully I survive, break early, and watch Chandler just kind of ride off into the distance. Man, that guy's fast.
Well, Trey, you got anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple questions. So toward the end of the race, like in the last 4 or 5 laps, you cut the time down from, I think it was about a 10-second gap to a 5-second gap. I assume that was mostly from issues or errors made by Chandler. But did you pay attention to that and think, oh, I might have a chance, or just?
Yeah, I watched it and I called him out too, because we were in the BLPH chat, and I was like, "Hey, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, I hope you wouldn't have seen that." He ran out the track. So I was like, "What the heck? How did this happen?" We went from 12-second gap to a 7-second gap to a 6-second gap. I was like, "Oh, if he keeps going this route, it might be possible, but no, he wrangled it back in and finished first, of course. But yeah, it was a little hint of hope there, but it's like I'm pretty happy with second, but we'll see. And I never saw it come to fruition at first, but man, congrats to him and Sean. Unfortunately, I feel bad for Sean because I don't know if you guys saw it too, but I missed his pit entry. And I just totally took him out of second, but I figure that was a podium for Sean, so congrats to him as well.
All right, yeah. And then last question that we have for you, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. My family, of course, my wife and kids supporting me and not bothering me while I'm racing. And being very supportive of, they totally understand, hey, this is a league and we're all here to have fun and just absolutely supportive there, especially for Go setups and, everything that they do and everybody behind the scenes too on the admin side, man. I can't thank you guys enough. And of course, for you guys in the box, really appreciate it that you guys spend your time and do so willingly and makes it a great place to be.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun up here. Last thing, I know I said that was the last question, but this is bugging me. Is that a squeaky fan or a cricket in the background that I'm hearing?
Might be a cricket. I don't know. I don't hear it, but might be the fan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just every time that you've been talking, I've been hearing a squeak, 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 squeak in the background. So I didn't know if you had a window open or what. Yeah,
maybe he's got pet crickets, man. You're calling him out.
Yeah,
I'm next to a windowsill, so who knows?
Yeah, that might be. Oh. Anywho, RD, it was great having you up here. You're second place, I believe.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so congratulations again. And we will go ahead and send you back down to your race review.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right. And then last but not least, we have our winner. Chandler James, 3 times in a row. Welcome to the booth. How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, feeling good. Honestly, feeling good.
All right. So obviously, essentially, once you got through at the start, you were clean away for most of that. Was it mostly smooth sailing at the start, or like through the race?
Yeah. Honestly, the first stint was pretty good. I was just kind of dialed in, and then the second stint, I was just kind of like little mistakes here and there, and Artie was slowly creeping in. But yeah, it was honestly a pretty smooth race. Wet tracks, not my favorite, but they are more fun.
All right, it's always good. Obviously, you and your teammate Sean Paul started side by side on the front row. Was there any collusion in order to block the Porsche drivers behind you, or was it just kind of free-for-all up there?
Honestly, between us, first laps, it's always free-for-all, but, we're teammates and we don't want to crash into each other. I knew Hankovitz pretty freaking fast, considering he was P1 in the practice race yesterday, so I just wanted to make sure I had the inside line so he couldn't go around Sean. I knew Sean had a good start too, so I think after that they were just battling and I could just get away easily.
Yeah, makes sense. Kyle, do you have any questions for Chandler here?
Did you, I don't know if you kept up with if you keep up with other people's times are during the week or anything like that, but did you have any, I don't know, ideas about who your competition was going to be for the race? And if so, did that pan out?
I was taking a look. I saw Raul was there, but it all depended on different track conditions. Because you can get in the quality server and then you're throwing down slower times. But then I threw a quicker time when the tracks were drying. So honestly, I wasn't really paying attention to that. You kind of pay attention to the top 10. But I was, I just wanted to make sure I got in front of Pankovitz and just held, because it's really hard passing here, and you can pretty easily defend if you have good pace and you're just keeping it consistent. So.
All right. Makes sense. All right. Last question. So you were talking. We talked with RD, and you were in a call with each other apparently, and you had the I don't know if you'd call them accidents or mistakes in the final set of laps that allowed the gap to get down from 10 or 12 seconds down to 5 seconds. How stressful were those laps after you made those mistakes?
Honestly, I was kind of just smooth sailing, not really focused for some reason. I don't know. I was kind of just like in my own lane, and then I just missed a braking point here, missed a braking point there, and then I see RD coming up, and I'm not talking about him like, oh, you're gonna catch up and stuff. Like I'm worried about my own race.
Yeah.
And then I took a look at my fuel and I go, ooh, I'm running low. So I did have to save a little. So that ended up working out. I did have 2 liters of fuel left.
There you go.
So yeah, that was mainly down to fuel saving and just like minimizing mistakes, because like one mistake, like, we were just watching somebody, they just one tire touched the grass and it went 500 feet. So
yep,
was just trying to not do that at all.
Yeah, it was fun watching, but yeah. So anyway,
yeah, especially the first lap, how people crash on a straight, crazy.
yeah, we watched the
The amount
replay
of times, the amount of times that exact thing has happened to me somehow, it's just insane. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, we were taking a look at that, and honestly, the spray was pretty bad. And I think somebody turned on their brake lights or just enabled their lights, and then you get a reaction because you don't know who's braking in front of that car.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, honestly, I think the rain had to do something with it. Like had its part to play, and like definitely got a couple people for sure. So. I think if it's different conditions, I don't think there's a crash there.
All I know is I feel bad for the stewards having to try and figure that out. But I'm not one of them.
it's honestly it's very difficult because you can do like it was a racing incident. I mean, dude, if you're in first person, that spray is actually horrible.
Yeah,
I mean that's really hard to judge.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Kyle, unless you have any more questions, I'll go ahead and let you throw out the final one.
Do you have anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out Trey for giving me that sick advice so I don't blow it. Oh my god, that worked out for my start this week. So I shout out.
All right.
Shout
out. For anyone who's listening, unfortunately, I'm going to give away the secret. So there's a thing called brake boosting. So on cars, especially like the McLaren or the Ferrari or the BMW, or in Chandler's case, the AMR.
Aston Martin.
Yeah, the Aston Martin. If you stamp on the throttle and hold the brake while you're in your starting lane, or while you're on the starting grid, on your in the final rolling procedure, you will get a lot better start than if you just wait to floor it, because it builds up your turbo pressure, it loads the engine beforehand, so it gets you better initial acceleration, and that allowed Chandler to get his third win in a row. So there you go. Anywho.
Well, I have to say thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Anywho, any other shout-outs?
Shout out everybody putting the races on again. I can't do all this stuff without them, so I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you again. It's been a pleasure watching you race. Well, I mean, it wasn't much of a race today. It was more like not quite a drive in a park. It might have been a drive in a lake, but close enough. Anywho.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. I haven't had any laps on Donington yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it'll be interesting. But we'll go ahead but yeah, we'll send you back down to all 2 people left in the race with you. So
Yep.
See you later.
You guys, appreciate it. See ya.
Yeah, so that was Chandler James, and that is the halfway point of our season. So we just finished up Monza. Next week, as Chandler was talking about, we're going to Donington Park, which I've not driven a lot. The only thing that I know about it, honestly, was that Top Gear did a testing, or was doing some driving there for one of their things. It wasn't their main test track. It's just one of the trips that they did. Kyle, do you have any experience on Donington?
Absolutely none. I was just thinking I'm going to have to go watch some track guides and maybe run some laps on it just so I know what I'm talking about next week. But what I can say is about the ugliest damn track.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Like a stapler or something.
A little bit, yeah. I will say it looks better when you're actually on the track, for the most part. The turns 9 and 10, the turn 9, 10, 11 and 12 complex is a little iffy, at least in my mind, but it's still going to be a fun track, and it's still going to be a fun race. So yeah, make sure you come back next week for that race, and also make sure to come tomorrow to watch D2 race. I'll be racing in that, or you can go watch Kyle commentate D4. Hopefully someone will join you, but I don't know. Do you know if someone will be joining you?
I don't know, but I can promise it'll be a good time regardless.
All right, so you heard it here first. It's going to be fun tomorrow. So make sure to join us tomorrow on YouTube or on Twitch. It'll be fun either way. But yeah, so my name is Trey Morgan. I've been joined by Kyle Boys. Any closing thoughts for you there?
Nope. Make good choices. Have a good rest of your evenings, and hopefully see you guys tomorrow.
Yep, it's going to be fun. See y'all later.
When I was just a new driver, I asked Coach Jeffries, what will I be? Will I be speedy? Will I crash out? Here's what he said to me,